Hey everybody, it's the Kellys.
I'm Lauren.
And I'm Brian.
You should know that by now if you're subscribed. If you're not, please do.
We post weekly videos, whether we're traveling or not. Some of our favorite videos are helping ones like these.
I have a lot of travel experience.
Yeah, she's been to, 70 countries, so she knows a lot of stuff. And I've learned a lot from her as well.
Yeah, so what I'm always most surprised by are these things that are very common knowledge when it comes to people in the travel world, when it comes to booking and packing and essentially just travel hacks for everything. You're on the plane, you're in a hotel, and in everyday conversation, people are shocked by the things that I tell them. So, we need to make a video to tell people all these trail hacks.
We gotta help the people out. So we decided to make this video series so that all these can become your personal travel hacks too.
So today's video is going to be all about apps and websites that help you travel. Just absolute must-haves. Things that are right on my phone or right on my computer. We're also going to be doing booking hacks, airport hacks, plane hacks, packing hacks, stuff like that. Stay tuned.
For hacking everything. My favorite piece of advice is probably this first one.
All right, so you guys apply for global entry, okay? Global entry. It is only $100. And I mean, we spent $100 going out to dinner last night. So $100 is not
It was not
a lot of money.
Dinner.
And it is good for 5 years. So if you don't know what global entry is, when you come back into the United States after being in another country, you won't have to stand in line to go through customs. You will go to the global entry part of customs instead, where they scan your fingerprints and ask you questions, and then you just go right through. And I've never waited more than 5 minutes. It's also especially helpful if your first port of entry into the US is, for example, Miami. You have to go through customs in Miami and then still get on your layover to then go to your home airport. So if that's the case and you have global entry, you're more likely to make your flight versus if that customs line is 2 hours long and then you still have to go back through security again, you're probably not making it.
It's a whole lot less stressful.
Yes, and it includes pre-check. All right, so probably my second favorite piece of advice, and I talk about this app every single day. The app is called Splitwise, and it's very helpful when you're traveling with friends or a group of people because it takes everything that you guys spend and does the math for you to show who owes who what. When Brian and I travel, obviously we're married, so our money is together, but when I'm going with girlfriends, okay, Lauren booked the hotel, Lauren booked the flight, but then you bought the Uber and you bought dinner and then you bought this and you bought this, and you type it all in and it does the math for you. We've already done it for the group trip that we're doing to Paris coming up soon, and it has been so helpful, and of course we're going to utilize it the entire trip. So at the end of the trip, we know who owes each other what. So get Splitwise.
So one of the things I like to do is get a currency app. I don't recommend any specific one. There's a lot of them you can find on your app stores or whatever, but I always like to see how much $5 is worth, $10 is worth, 20, 50. It helps you get an idea of what things are going for.
Especially if you need to barter in a country too. You need to know how much something is. I love it. Yeah, so knowing what all of those denominations are before you go are very helpful. On that note, this isn't really a hack with a website, but get your currency before you leave home is what I like to do, or you can always go to the ATM once you arrive in that country and just take it out. I don't like ATMs at airports when I arrive. I think they're sketchy. I think people are watching you. I don't like to do it. So I go to a foreign exchange currency place that's local here, and the guy kind of knows me because I'm there all the time. So I always travel with my money on me first. Do not ever exchange at the airport. It's the worst rate.
No, it's horrible. Our next important hack is to do your flight research using something like Skyscanner or Google Flights. you can hit the notifications on those apps and it will tell you when the prices go up or hopefully they go down for you.
Yeah, Skyscanner is my go-to in Google Flights. Really good too. It basically just scans all of the different third-party websites to see which ones that you may have not even heard of before are selling that flight for the cheapest. When booking a flight, once I've already decided on the cheap one that I found, I like to go to seatguru.com. It will show you a map of the plane and it'll show you like, here's the bathroom, here's the seat that you chose. Does it have seat back entertainment? Does it recline? How much leg room is there? Are there, you know, plugs for your phone? Things like that. So definitely helpful when you're picking where to sit.
And when you're searching for those flights, you also want to make sure you're searching in incognito mode, because those apps and things will pick up that you're searching for a flight, and all of a sudden those prices have a mysterious way of going up somehow. I don't know how that happens.
Watching you.
Yeah. So to help avoid that, go in incognito mode. You'll get the best rate that you can possibly get. When you're booking your hotels, you always want to check the price direct with the hotel first.
Then you can go on to third-party sites like Expedia or Travelocity and see how much they are on there. They might price match them for you, because basically if you book direct with the hotel's going to get all of the money. If you book third-party, the third-party site is going to take some money. So hotels are going to love you a lot more if you book direct. Then you can also sometimes get upgrades or something like that with them. But they're going to give the better rooms to the people that book direct. So yeah, try to book direct. But if you're not going to book direct, that's fine. I honestly usually don't. I hack a lot of different ways. The two ways are next. So if you aren't going to book direct, then stick with one site. I've always used Expedia for some reason. I started using it years ago. And as soon as I started traveling more often, I quickly became their Gold, VIP, Elite, Plus member, and I get a ton of upgrades and free stuff when I use Expedia. So I personally like Expedia unless it's cheaper booking direct. And then this next hack I always use with Expedia to give me money back.
So one of the things Lauren also likes to do is she uses something called Ratukin.
We think that's how you pronounce it. We're not really sure.
Yeah, maybe. I'm known to mispronounce things. It's great. It gives you 3 to 4% cash back using something like Expedia. And over the course of time using it, that adds up. 3 to 4% on paper doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're traveling, I would rather have the money than not have it. So
I think I made maybe $10 on my 5-day solo trip. So
there's lots
every
of other,
bit helps.
There's lots of other deals on it as well.
Oh yeah, like you want to shop on Nike, you want to go to Sephora, you want to go to dinner. I mean, it's all so helpful. So always check out Ratukin for sure. All right, so although it's pretty rare that I actually book on these apps or websites, I do always like to mention them to people. You do have to subscribe to these and pay a little bit monthly, I believe, but sites like Fairdrop or Scott's Cheap Flights, you can subscribe to them and then they are going to send you all sorts of different deals that you would like. And the cool thing about Fairdrop is you can actually type in the home airport that you want to look at and the continents that you want to go to and what your max price is. So I only get notifications from Fairdrop when it's flights to Europe for 500 or less, because if they're more than 500, I don't really care. But the dates are always pretty limited because they're like, oh, hey, go to Scotland in
tomorrow,
May 17th for $300. It's like, well, I can't go on May 17th, but thanks for letting me know. So, because we're always booked pretty far in advance. But if it's more helpful for you, definitely do those. I like Fairdrop because it supports YouTubers too. Some of our favorite YouTubers made it, so I really like that.
So this app I find to be really helpful. Google Translate. Lauren's always trying to learn languages. Right now she's studying French and she's going to these classes. I don't do that.
Brian,
I
yeah.
butcher the languages all the time. So I use this to kind of help me out. It's really helpful at hotels or when I'm ordering food. I get what I want, and
there's also a part of Google Translate too that people don't realize until I show them, that you can actually scan the camera over the words of anything and it'll translate it for you. So sometimes it's really funny, but sometimes it helps, you know, just for a menu. They don't always have menus in English, so.
Yeah.
But speaking of Google, one of my favorite things, and this is pretty obvious and everyone's probably used it, but is Google Maps. So if I'm planning out a trip, I like to save to my favorites all the little things that I want to do, and then I see how they're spread out on the map, and then I usually like to pick a hotel based on a central location of all of that. And then there's walking directions, driving directions, public transportation. I mean, if you guys could see the way I plan an itinerary.
It's impressive.
But for example, for Paris, we're gonna take the metro everywhere. And so, okay, if this is where we're staying and we need to go here, then I already map out how to get there and I write it down, and I'm a freak like that. But it's a lot more helpful than needing to do it on the spot and figuring it out too. So Google Maps helps so much, especially with the walking directions.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you would think, you know, you get off of a subway stop and you're like, okay, which way do I need to go?
I'm really happy she does this because I just trust. I'm like, Lauren has done the research.
Yes, I kind of study the map. It's like Joey and Friends. Like, I would need to get into the map, but I don't actually hold a map like this. I'm just on my phone. But
laugh hysterically if she did.
you can also download them offline too, so that if you don't have service for some reason, you can still use it. So.
Okay, those are your helpful websites and apps for now. We have so much more we want to show you guys in the future.
Let us know if you ever have any questions or need help with anything at all, or is there an app or a website that helps you travel? Let us know so that we can talk about it another time. And be sure you're subscribed to our channel, because we've got lots of more hacks for you, travel tips and tricks, and of course fun vlogs, because we have much more travel coming up here soon. We took a couple months break, but we're back, baby.
Yeah, if you've seen our 2022 travel plans, you'll know we got a lot in store for you guys.
A lot in store, and countries that you might not even know you want to go to until you see us go to.
Or knew they existed.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, we'll see you guys next time.
See you next time, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.